Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another movie review. God, it's gonna be one of those months again. I got so tired of saying that in June. You know, we've just started our 31 days of horror marathon, and we're just gonna keep moving right along. But as you'll see in this month, I've sprinkled in a few remake versus originals in here, as I've missed doing those. It's been a long time since I've done a remake versus original. So I thought I would throw a few of those in there. So today we're gonna start off with our first one. We're gonna be talking about The Town That Dreaded Sundown, 1976 version versus the 2014 remake. Well, I haven't done remake versus original, kind of like my new format really, so this will be interesting. Maybe we'll just do both at the same time, I guess, because they both don't have the same story, do they? Okay, so quickly, the original Town That Dreaded Sundown is a movie kind of set up like a mockumentary almost. It's not found footage or anything like that, but we do have like a narrator and things like that, kind of a documentary style, that is following some very real murders that did actually happen in the Texarkana area. But this movie is about that, like it's talking about the real crimes kind of like as it's playing out. So it follows the Phantom Killer of Texarkana and the police and investigators that are trying to catch him, as opposed to the remake, which is almost kind of a self-aware movie, I guess. It's aware of the original film that happened, and there's kind of like a link with one of the characters. There's a link to like the original events that happened, which I'm not going to give away because spoilers. So the good about both of these movies, the first one, the original, was funny as hell. Seriously, it definitely wasn't meant to be, but it was just really funny. There's a lot of like really long, drawn out shots and scenes that just don't need to be in there. There's some very funny deaths. I'm sorry, like the trombone death is just absolutely, it's ridiculous. I was dying the entire time. Good, what I liked about the remake, Dennis O'Hare, seriously. I'll get into more what I didn't like about the remake, but just quickly, most of the acting was not that great, but Dennis O'Hare is always just like right on point in his character. He was a scene stealer, seriously. Every time he participated in a scene, he just stole the attention away from the main characters and the protagonist and everything. It was great. The not so great, the original, funny as hell. Like I said, it definitely wasn't meant to be, and I think it's just, you know, the time that has passed since this movie came out. Like I said, this one came out in 1976, so of course things in that movie that would be seen as shocking and gruesome back then, to me, who has seen a lot of horror movies in 2016, finds quite hilarious. And like I said, there's really long and unnecessary kind of like filler shots, like establishing shots go on way longer than they should. And again, I think that's just like a difference in time. Like nowadays everything is fast, 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 so an audiences today probably definitely understand quicker when you have an establishing shot. It really only needs to be up there for like a second or two and then you're good. These ones go on for more than a second or two, and it doesn't seem like it's a couple seconds would make that big of a difference, but it does. It really does. And altogether, like all those filler shots and everything made the movie way too long. Moving on to the horrible and the weird. In the original, like I said, the trombone scene in particular was just all like the acting in that scene. I'm sorry, that lady that was being killed, horrible, horrible acting. I found a lot of the acting work to be not that great. Again, it's hard to judge, I feel like, when you're watching a movie this old, or even older. I feel like it's so hard to judge because it's just a different time and a different style. And so if I was reviewing this in 1976, right after this movie came out, I might have something different to say about it, but it's just, you know, like an old movie, it just wasn't that great. In my opinion, it didn't really hold up in 2016. As far as its remake goes, had some weird fucking scenes in there, and a lot of the characters just like, it's like they could have just not established the characters and then just have them be kills, you know, like you first meet these two characters and then they're killed like that. Those are fine because there was no attempt to establish their characters. There were some weird ones, like these two guys that are like friends, or they're gay, I'm not really sure. Like, you meet them 1 or 2 times and then you're kind of like, okay, so are they gonna factor into the movie? And then, spoiler alert, I guess they're they're attacked. I'll just say that, they're attacked. I won't tell you how that turns out, but they're definitely attacked while they're in like a junkyard, and they're like getting ready to give each other blowjobs or something. I don't know, it was it was just really weird. It was like a half-assed attempt, not even half-assed, it was like a quarter-assed attempt at establishing these two characters, but then they're gone. I don't know, they could have cut every little tiny scene with them in it before that and then just brought us to when they're attacked in the junkyard or whatever. I don't know, it was really weird. I just found myself saying, like, what was the point of all that leading up to that? Like, what was the point? Right, so overall, if I had to recommend one, you'll see I'm gonna change up the style of my remake versus original just a little bit. Overall, if I had to recommend one of these movies for you to watch, it would be the original. Even though it is much longer than its remake, I think it's funnier to watch, like, kind of in a generational difference. Can't talk. It's much funnier to watch in the sense of like generational differences as opposed to like the remake, which came out only like 2 years ago and is just bad. They're both just bad, but I feel like the older a movie is and the worse it is, like, it's just funnier as opposed to it just being bad if it just came out. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, if you've seen one or both of these movies, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. And until tomorrow, stay strange. Bye. Hey guys, remember I'm participating in 31 Days of Horror this month. So every single day in the month of October, you will have a new movie review or remake versus original. So make sure to, sorry, I scratched my shoulder. Make sure to subscribe to me by clicking right down here to be notified when I post a new review this month.